68 road trip. We are here at Indiana's practice in Assembly Hall. Rob Doster, Jeff Goodman. We're going to be joined here by Darian DeVries, the new Indiana. Than you've been at, and I'm just kind of curious, man. Like, how's life been here in Bloomington?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a whirlwind as you're getting a team and roster, staff all put together. But now it's coaching basketball, and it's that time of year where we're getting closer and closer to exhibition games and real games. So you can feel the excitement not only from people around the community, but our team, they're ready to go. They're ready to get back out there.
So how many people have called you Darian since you've been here?
I'd say it's about 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah, we just
you still don't. Yeah. I can't believe you don't correct anybody.
It's just easier to go with it, if we wanted to, just go like DAR, I should just change the spelling if I wanted to not correct it.
I want to know, where did your parents get that spelling from?
I'm not really sure. I was told that they wanted to keep the mail straight. And now I come from a town of 1,000 people, and you can understand there's probably a lot of Darian DeVries there. So, very smart thinking by my parents.
When you decided to take this opportunity, when you decided to come take the Indiana job, what was it about this program, and what was it about everything that goes into the history of Indiana basketball that maybe you didn't realize until you got here? Right. What is new about this place that you have not experienced before?
Well, I think the number one thing is you just look up in Assembly Hall and you see the banners, right? And you understand the brand of Indiana. If you're a basketball person, you know what that means. And when you come here, it's everything that you would think it would be. I know as an assistant coach when I was at Creighton, we played here, so we got to experience it firsthand on the opposing side of the bench. So I'm glad to be on the other side of the sidelines now. And it's everything, from a fan standpoint, resources and commitment. It's an incredible place, and we couldn't be more excited.
Are you ready to see 17,000 people in here?
Yeah, we cannot wait. It's just one of the most unique and exciting venues in all of college basketball. And when it's full and rocking, it's as loud as it gets anywhere in the country.
So you're described as a ball coach. That's what, if I talk to Greg McDermott, Dana Altman, who kind of gave you your start at Creighton, they will all say you are a ball coach. You are as good a ball coach as there is out there. How do you describe your coaching style to Indiana fans that don't really know you yet?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, first of all, you mentioned two incredible guys to learn from in Dana Altman and Greg McDermott. So, you take a lot from that and over the years, and then you apply kind of your own personality to it. But I think for the most part, we come in every day and we try to have a certain energy level about the way we approach practice, and we want a June practice to look like a February 20th practice, and it should sound and feel the same all the way through. And I think our guys really embrace that. We try to keep it fun and upbeat, and we're not going to be out here for 3 hours, but the time we're out here, we want it to be really up-tempo, up-pace, and with a lot of energy into it.
And efficient, too. Yeah, efficient. We saw that today. It's quick, man. You got 6 minutes on the clock, and as soon as you're done, it's boom, you're running on to the next thing.
Well, because he's not the type, you can see it, and even when you talk to you, you're not the type that's going to just talk to talk. Right? I mean, that's just not you.
Yeah, I don't think everybody's accused me of like trying to cut me off from talking too long. I know that. So
I do that to him a lot.
Right.
A lot.
So I don't get cut off that often. They're like trying to get more out of me. But we're very intentional. We want our guys. I don't spend a lot of time lecturing to them. We want to teach. We want to get to the point. And we want to move on, and that's how we try to do everything that we do on the practice floor. Is also with that kind of thing in mind.
How long did it take to get this group used to that style of practicing and used to the verbiage that you use and used to, there's things that you do where everybody is calling out while you're practicing, while you're doing different drills. How long did it take these guys to kind of pick up on what you expect out of it? Because, it's a new group. Right?
Yeah, it really doesn't take very long. Early on, some of the drills we do, we have everybody echo the drills when we call them out. And then the guys just learn how to communicate at a high level in everything they do. But you see how fast, even for a team as many new guys as there are, they've all picked it up very quickly. They all kind of embrace the fact that we're not going to be out here for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So they don't have to pace themselves. They know exactly the amount of time that we're going to be here. So they can go as full speed as they can for the entire amount of time we're there.
Does it help that you have guys that have been in college for 5 and 6 years?
Yeah, that does help. There's also sometimes, because everybody's got different verbiage or different ways they do things, so when you get somebody that maybe has been here for 5 years, maybe they denied the wing, and we do it a little bit different. So some of those habits take time to break, and we understand that, and we let them kind of work through that. We don't expect them to fix it on day one, but the guys do a really good job of communicating with each other, leading each other to help them kind of get through the drills and understand what we're trying to do.
All right, let's get the update first on your son, Tucker. Let's get that out of the way. Obviously, last season, shut it down after about 9 or 10 games with a shoulder injury. He's gone through that a few times over the course of his career. I'm not going to ask you how his golf game is because I know he kicks your butt, but how's he feeling? I saw he was out there today. He looks pretty darn good. I know he played in the Puerto Rico trip, then had a little bit of a heel injury, but how's he looking, and what do you expect out of him at Indiana, maybe compared to his role the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for him is probably the first time in 3 years he's actually been healthy, and it's been a long road for him. So I know he's excited to hopefully, stay that way and be able to complete a whole season and be able to perform, with a healthy shoulder. So that's the biggest thing for him. He was able to kind of get everything right after the surgery again. And, for those that have been athletes and been through multiple surgeries, you know how frustrating that can be and time consuming it is to try to do the rehab and start all over again. So we're excited about where he's at right now. I know he's excited to get back out there and play again.
You obviously coached for Greg McDermott, whose son, Doug, was one of the greatest college basketball players that we've seen. What did you, when you guys made the decision that Tucker was going to end up playing for you in college, what did you take from him? What did you talk to him about to how to make that process a little bit easier?
Yeah, Doug McDermott is one of the best players to ever play the game. It was an incredible joy to be on the sideline watching him and his dad do their thing together. And for us, we understood that you might not be Doug McDermott, but we want to make this an enjoyable time for us. So let's make the basketball, and then we're off the floor. We can still be father-son. That's still okay. And we really tried to do a good job of separating the two as we've gone through this, and we've really enjoyed it. It's been for those that get the opportunity to experience being able to coach your son in college. It's something that I know neither one of us will never forget, and we'll always remember all the good times. And most of it's usually not the basketball games; it's all the other things that come with it.
So I'm coaching my son now in both basketball and baseball, and he's 10 years old. So my question is, at what point did he actually start listening to you? Because right now, it's if anybody else tells my kids to do something, they do it. If it comes from me, they do the exact opposite.
I think there's a lot of those father-son relationships that don't always go well in coaching either. So, I don't know. I've tried really hard when he was growing up to not coach him. So maybe that's part of it, just be a fan and be a parent, and now getting the opportunity to coach it. I just think, it's like for me, being very intentional about like when he's out there, he's just one of the other guys, and coach him just like everybody else. And he probably goes back to the locker room and complains like everybody else.
I hope he does.
His coaches as well. So
he better pile on. He better pile on.
I'm sure he does. I know that was one of the things Greg McDermott told his son Doug. Like, go ahead, you go back in the locker room. Feel free to join in. Like that's normal. Yeah. You can have at it too. So, but that's just the way it should be. It's he needs to have his space when he goes back, and he's just one of the guys, and I certainly respect that.
When you took the job, I think a lot of people, myself included, were wondering, like, is he going to have the resources? Is he going to really have them? Because one of the knocks on Indiana was they're behind. Tradition meant so much. It was always, well, are they going to be able to, catch up? Well, they gave you the resources year one. How surprised were you that you were able to get them and put together a roster that looks like, hey, hopefully you can make the NCAA tournament and be a player in the Big Ten this year?
Yeah, I think, when you think about Indiana basketball and what it means to this state, the resources, the commitment level, it's there. And people want this program to be successful, and they're trying to do everything they can to give us, what we need to try to get there. So, the administration, from the president, the athletic director on down, everybody's on board with trying to do everything we can to make sure that we can be, not only competitive, but competitive at a high level year in, year out.
I mean, you did. You put together a team that has older guys. I mean, obviously, Conerway comes from Troy, and I think he's probably older than Doster at this point. Lamar Wilkerson has played a long time in college. Reed Bailey, 3 years at Davidson. Your son's played a while. What went into putting this team together, and what can fans expect when they watch this team on the court? Because to me, I'm watching practice, I'm like, a lot of these dudes can make shots, a lot of them.
Yeah, we were very intentional. Like when you take a job and you don't have a lot of guys on the roster currently, we wanted to put together a team and not just collect a lot of individuals. So we wanted to make sure that the guys complemented each other, they could play off of one another. And I've really been pleased with how it's turned out to this point. We haven't played a game yet, but I like our group. I think they're really committed to winning, playing unselfish, sharing the ball, all the things that are going to matter when you do get into conference play and things, and you're trying to win a Big Ten championship. Is those guys, you got to be really connected at both ends of the floor, and I like the commitment level that our guys have shown this far.
Yeah, the thing that's going to be fascinating to me about this group is. Felt like one of the complaints that we had about Indiana last year was not really playing, 5 out, sometimes playing 2 bigs at the same time, not shooting enough threes. And I go and I look and I see that Tucker shot like 7.5 threes per game last season, a 40% clip. And Lamar shot more than 8 threes a game at a 40% clip. And Nick Dorn, who didn't see practice today, shot more than 8 threes a game. And Josiah Miles shot 7.5 threes a game. And it feels like you like a team that has a bunch of guys that could get them up and can throw some threes in.
Yeah, based on the info, it sounds like we're going to shoot a lot of threes. Right? So,
breaking news.
Yeah, breaking. Right. Yeah, we want to space it. We want to get them up. We want to play in transition. We want to play in the open floor. So again, we tried to recruit to that, and I like the depth that we have in the shooting department. I think we have a lot of guys that can make them.
My favorite part about that too is that we saw Reed Bailey out here, and it was the first time that I've seen him playing with you guys, and the way that you could use him at the 5, the fact that he gives you basically another point guard on the floor, some of the 5-man stuff that you can run. Like, I'm sure that you, not to compare him to Nikola Jokic, but when you have a guy that's that size at the 5 that can pass, it creates a lot of different opportunities for a lot of different players. I got to imagine you're sitting here, and when you go to sleep at night, you can imagine some of the sets that you can run for a dude that can pass like that.
Yeah, it's been exciting because he is unique in his skill set. So, myself and our staff, I've challenged them all, like, think outside the box on different ways we can utilize his talent because it is a unique talent. And he's one of those guys at 6'10", and 6'11", as you saw today. He handles like a guard. He moves like a guard. So trying to put him in maybe some spaces where he can utilize kind of his talents at his size and play that to our advantage.
He's bigger than I thought. Right, like sometimes
you
see 6'10" listed on a roster, and you're like, yeah, so he's probably like 7.5. No, he's big.
Yeah, he's legit size, and he's athletic, and like I said, he can really run the floor. So we're excited about what he's done, this summer and fall, and we got to continue to find more creative ways to utilize him.
Have you had a guy like that before anywhere?
Not quite like him. You always have guys that are a little bit different, and every player's kind of got their own unique skill. But he's one of those guys that I was telling Jeff earlier, like, when Iowa State, they utilized it. They're big, bringing it up for a long time there. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to find ways to incorporate some of those things, too, because he can really do that and make decisions off of it as well.
Yeah, you compared him to George Niang. As long as he doesn't talk as much as George Niang, we're okay. What do you worry about with this group? The one thing when I look at this group, I'm like, again, you can make shots from everywhere. You've got experience. I think you got culture guys, too. I think you brought in, we spent some time, certainly with Tayton, Lamar. I know your son, Tucker. I know Reed. You've got culture guys that I think will buy into Indiana basketball, which, frankly, the last couple of years might have been a little bit of a knock on Indiana basketball. What do you worry about? One thing I look out, I'm like, do they have that rim protector? Is that something that concerns you a little bit, and how do you almost get away without having a big-time rim protector?
Yeah, I think the rim protection, we don't have a lot of it. We don't have an elite-level shot blocker, but to me, it just means you got to be more connected as a defense to keep people out of the paint so you're not put in those situations as often. It's still going to happen. Yeah. It's just the reality of it. But, for us to be successful on the defensive end without that lack of rim protection is just having a group that is really kind of tough out on the perimeter and not giving up a lot of straight line drives where you're forced to utilize a shot blocker.
I think the really interesting thing about the Indiana program where it is right now is that you can never match the passion that you're going to find here, but it's also been a while since they've been at that level, and it feels like sometimes the patience may not be there waiting for the program to get built, right? And when you bring in 11 new guys, I mean, obviously you've had 2 players before. When you bring in this many new guys into the program, sometimes it takes a little while to get acclimated. How important was it to get that trip to the Bahamas, to get those extra practices?
Puerto Rico.
To get those extra practices, to get those extra games, to get those extra reps, to, the off the court stuff, so these guys actually feel like they know each other and it's not just a bunch of dudes that have been put on the same roster.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome for us because not only did we have a great experience and they got to do a lot of different things together as a whole group, which is hard to do when you got guys in the portal at different ages. You got freshmen, so just a lot of guys at different stages, even in their young adult life, but they're on different stages of their college lives in terms of how much do they socialize as a group. So for us to go down to Puerto Rico and hang out together and go, jet skiing and go snorkeling and play beach volleyball, all those type of things are
Notice how he didn't say blackjack.
Yeah, no, none of that. I'm sure.
No, none of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Tucker was down there playing a little blackjack. Come on.
I can't confirm or deny, any of them. So, but we had a great time, and then the basketball, we really got challenged down there too. So we were able to get a lot of stuff on tape, both good and bad, that we could learn from and take when we came back after the summer break to start into the fall and say, okay, here's where we thought we were. Here's some things we're doing really well. Here's some things we got to really clean up as we head into non-conference play.
So what was the biggest takeaway from that trip? Because you played good teams. You beat, good teams in close games.
I thought the biggest thing is we had a lot of guys contribute, and what I was most pleased with, we didn't really shoot it that well for what I think we're capable of and could be this season. But we were still able to keep competing and find a way to win some hard-fought games despite shooting it well, because you're going to have nights where you don't. So I was actually most pleased with that. Hey, we didn't actually play that great, didn't shoot it great, which I think is our strength of ours, and we were still come from 20 down and find a way to win a game.
You've coached 2 of the best shooters maybe in college basketball history, in Kyle Korver and Doug McDermott. Where does Lamar Wilkerson stand in terms of practice so far? Obviously, his numbers stack up pretty well as I think he was 45 last year. Where does he stack up?
Yeah, he's right up there. I mean, Kyle and Doug, it's hard to put somebody in those categories because they're 2 of the best ever. But when you watch a shooting drill with Lamar, it's like, wow.
Everyone.
Well, we watched one today.
Yeah, he can get on a real heater and 45 to 50 in a row type stuff, and that's pretty fun to watch. And he's really works at it, so it's not by accident. Like all great shooters, Kyle and Doug they didn't just show up. They worked at it. They perfected their craft, and he puts a lot of time into it as well.
Are we just going to sit here and pretend like Ethan Wragge didn't exist on those teams? He was the best shooter on that team.
He was an elite shooter. Wragge could.
Some Wragge bombs. I missed some Wragge bombs.
He shot 41%.
The lumberjack.
Yeah.
The lumberjack.
You know who shot 41% in their 3-point in their career from 3?
Who?
This guy.
You did?
It's true.
Is that accurate?
It's accurate.
Oh.
I mean, I might be making it up, but I think it's accurate.
Let's roll with that.
No, I think it's accurate. We got to have him tell the story. There was a story years ago. Where I think they were playing.
He just got nervous.
Yeah, they were playing.
Oh no, where's going to be going with this?
They're playing Creighton. He played for UNI. They're playing Creighton, and there was something about him talking a little bit of. He comes down. And he hits, I think, 3 straight threes.
You shushed the crowd.
You shushed the crowd?
Yeah.
Is this true?
Which when you're 8 and 22, I don't know if that's probably the greatest idea in the world. We were coming in. They had a really good crowd that night. It was their senior night, and made a few threes and decided to, give a little shush to the bench. I don't think I found out more after the fact. I don't think Coach Altman was a big fan of that.
Oh, I'm sure he wasn't.
Yeah. We came out after halftime. I found all this out later. He got after the team a little bit about me not getting any more opportunities. That was the last of my scoring for the night, by the way. It was shut down after that.
The best part of the story is finishes that's your final season of college basketball, and then Dana Altman hires him as a GA. So he walks into the building in Creighton the next year, and they weren't too happy to see
you. I had
you.
a few of the guys going. I walked down in, after gotten hired. They were all down there lifting, and I walked in, and let's say there was a few scowls on their faces of like, well, what is this guy doing here?
How did we hire this guy?
What is Coach doing? So, but yeah, that was it was a fun story, and a lot of those guys, terrific friends with now. But I think that first day or two, there were some question marks.
Just some health update stuff from you guys. Nick Dorn, foot, is he was out there doing a little bit of 5-on-0 stuff. Is he getting closer to getting back?
Yeah, he's getting closer and closer. We're continuing to ramp him up a little bit, but it's still going to be a little while before we get into some of those live, 5-on-5 type situations. But he's making progress, so that's a good thing.
And he had the Jones fracture a while ago, right? Last year.
Yeah, he had one last year, and then they had to actually go back in and redo it. So
and he'll give you some real shooting when he gets healthy. The hope is that he'll give you some more shooting coming off the bench.
No, he looks great, and you watch him running right now. I mean, he looks like he should be middle linebacker somewhere. He should be playing on Saturday here this upcoming weekend. But
was it like that before the foot injury, or was that a result of having a foot injury later?
No, I think he's been like that. It's just this is the first time I've got to see him run in person because he's been in the boot a lot. So I don't want to stand in his way, but we could throw him out there on Saturday. I think he'd hold his own just fine.
And then Josiah Miles, the shoulder, and Drake, blanking on his name, with the toe injury.
They should both be back. Josiah, sooner than later, and Deuce will still be a little while yet. He's got probably another month or so before he starts getting back into things.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I did some major digging. I mean,
This is what he does.
Like when I want to play reporter, I'm going to dig. And I dug. So everybody calls him D-Rock. Everybody. Like any coach in the business is going to call you D-Rock. So I'm like, where did this come from? I hit McDermott. I don't know. I hit Dana Altman. I don't know. I hit every damn assistant you've been with. I don't know. Nobody on this court knows. So give me it.
Yeah, I like the fact that you don't know either now. Like you tried your hardest. You called everybody you could possibly call.
Is this an X-rated story?
No.
You're not gonna give it up.
No,
just going to keep it secretive forever.
Yeah. Okay, well, you keep asking.
Does your kid call you D-Rock?
No.
What is he? Coach, Dad,
There's
D-Rock?
A lot of names. Yeah. Depends on how he's feeling that day, right? It used to be just Yo. Hey, Yo.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Doug called Greg Mack, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, for the most part.
Right?
Yeah. I think he had some other names too.
Yeah, when he was getting, trust me, he was getting enough shots. He didn't have to complain that much.
I don't think he had to complain a lot about that.
He definitely did not.
The thing that's interesting, since you mentioned Tucker, is I remember talking with Steve Alford about coaching Bryce, and he said that one of the hardest parts of doing that was the immediate place that people go if Tucker doesn't have a good game is, it's daddy ball. He's just letting his son shoot all the shots. How do you navigate that? Like it's got to be a little bit more. It's not just like a normal player, right? You got.
Have you learned anything over the years? Because he was so dominant at Drake. Like he was a two-time Missouri Valley Player of the Year. It's a little bit different now at Indiana. You've got other. I don't want to say really good players. You have really good players at Drake, but the talent level is certainly a little bit better here.
I think the biggest thing, very similar to Doug at Creighton, like the whole key to it all is you got to have great teammates. And when you have great teammates, they know what goes on in the locker room, what goes on the practice floor every day. So they're just trying to win. And I know Doug McDermott at Creighton had incredible teammates, and Tucker at both Drake and West Virginia had unbelievable teammates of like, hey, he was just one of the guys, and they're all just trying to win. And that's the most important piece. And when you have that, it makes everything a lot easier. And, we've been very fortunate, as did Doug, but Tucker's been very fortunate to have incredible teammates at both Drake and West Virginia and here at Indiana.
Yeah, and if you're winning, that's all that really matters, right? People don't have any criticisms.
Everything. I mean, that's.
Has it hit you? I mean, when you look up there at those banners and you see the history of Indiana basketball, and again, it's funny because a lot of the kids these days, they haven't lived through that, right? They don't necessarily think of Indiana basketball like we think. How old are you?
50.
Yes, me too. He's a little bit younger, so he's kind of in that middle. He's in that middle.
First of all, don't lie. You're older than 50. There's a 5 in front, but you're older than 50.
I'm a little bit older than him. Not much. I'm not much. He'll tweet out, I'm 60 or something. I'm not that old.
But everyone believes it.
I know. It's bullshit. The gray hair doesn't help. Gray hair does not help. But has it hit you yet that you're the Indiana basketball head coach? Because as a kid growing up in Iowa, as a coach who has grinded it out for a long time, got your opportunity at Drake, that you're coaching Indiana basketball?
Not really. I mean, you think about it, it's like that dream job, but then when you get in it, it's like, now I just want to do my job, you know, and I want to do it at the highest level I can and work as hard as I can to make us successsul and win games. And, you know, once you get into that, it's like now you're just coaching and you're doing everything you can to the best of your ability. But, you know, for someone that when you're first starting out, this is what you dream of, is to be in this situation, to be in this building and you know, have the type of, you know, support we have to try to go, you know, continue on not only the great history, but now build a new history for us.
So the one thing is, you know, when he got a high major job, everybody's like, oh man, Darren's finally getting paid now, right? It's going to completely change his life. What people don't know, this dude owns like supermarkets, right? Like you're
Yeah, we have some.
You've been rolling in cash for a long time.
Yeah,
Who are you kidding?
That. If you anybody that knows the grocery store business, that's not how that
It's not lucrative.
Yeah, it's a hard business, which we found out. But
how did this start?
Yeah, it started. We had our hometown in Appleton, Parkersburg, the town of Parkersburg. The grocery store got destroyed by a tornado. So we got approached by the previous owners of, hey, they didn't want to rebuild.
You and your brother. You and your brother.
A couple brothers, yep. So we're like, we don't know anything about groceries, you know. Like we go to the grocery store and we go buy, you know, Tombstone pizzas. That's about what we know. So, but they're like, hey, we'll help you. Like we'll manage it for you and stuff. Just get it started. And that's kind of how it started. And then some other small towns in the state of Iowa were like, hey, we'd like a grocery store. And then it just kind of like, all right, we just kept going. So
how many you got now?
We got a good number. I think it's
7 or 8.
Yeah, we're around 16.
16.
Yeah. So we're in Kansas and
you need a partner
in Iowa.
You need a partner.
Yeah, we got a couple we'd give to you actually.
They must not be making money if you're ready to give them to me.
No, that's yeah, but it's been great. I think what we've loved about it the most is like, yeah, it's a business and all that stuff. But, you know, grew up in small town Iowa to be a part of a lot of small communities. And you know, that's an important thing in small communities. You know, a grocery store, a school, you know, churches, like all those type of things are very vital to their continuing to, you know, stay alive.
So, Field of 68, one thing that was the constant theme this entire summer was NCAA tournament expansion. I think you have a very interesting perspective on this because you spent time at Creighton, at Drake, in a conference where maybe tournament-worthy teams weren't able to get in for different reasons, Indiana State. And then you've been at the power conference level, right? Creighton ended up being in the Big East before you left, and you've been at West Virginia in the Big 12. Do you want the tournament to expand? Do you think that is the right move?
You know, I'm okay with whatever they decide. That to me is like you got to prove yourself and work your way into it. If it's 64 teams, you know, find a way to get in there. If it's 68, find a way to get in there. If they expand it, find a way to get in there. And you know, that's your whole goal. Every team's goal at the beginning of the year is let's get into that tournament and then let's go make a run. And that's you know, our goal every single year is to try to find a way to make yourself into the tournament and then you give yourself the best chance to go make a run while you're in it.
That was, by the way, that was a great PR answer right there.
Smart.
That was
Smart.
Great. Yeah. Don't pick a side, but make it seem
Don't
like
get yourself into trouble at all.
Yeah, there you go. Good job. Great work. He's ready for this job.
Well, yeah, no doubt. He's been doing this long enough. You know, with everything that's happened now, with rev share coming in next year, this year was kind of a unlimited whatever you wanted to do. It's kind of a free for all this year. Next year, rev share comes in. We were talking about this before practice. Painter said this a few weeks ago. You guys just want rules. You just want to know what you're dealing with, don't you? I mean, now I say this, and then you guys will complain whatever they put in. But you do want some sort of guidelines and rules so that you know what you're dealing with. Because right now, you really don't. Even with rev share coming in, you have a number, I know, and the third party go, whatever it is, that's in place. But we don't really know what next year is going to look like yet, right?
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part, and that's the biggest frustration amongst all coaches. And to be honest, even like the players like that are being recruited and agents and everybody else is, what are the rules? So that, hey, tell us what they are so we can operate and you know, go by what's in front of us. So But the lack of clarity right now is really, really challenging for everybody that's involved. So, once we'll still complain about it, but at least you know what you're complaining about, and that's the biggest thing for, I think, everybody in the profession right now. Just give us what it is, so then we can make decisions based off of that.
The last thing I got for you is we mentioned it earlier. You coached with Dana Altman. You coached with Greg McDermott, which is about two of as good of coaches as you can learn from in this business. What is something that you've kind of taken from each of them beyond just like the typical X's and O's, like I want to run this set, I like running this play. What are things that you've learned from kind of how they run a program that you see yourself implementing now?
Yeah, I think the number one thing was just the consistency at which they did it, whether it was practice or games or whatever. And both of them are different in how they go about it, but still like very similar in how effective they are for certain reasons. Like you knew exactly what they were going to be like every day, and what their expectations were, and how they were going to operate a practice and their a game situation, all those type of things. They just were like never wavered. And all the years that I was with either one of them, they were really consistent on what they felt was important to them, and winning and having a culture that would lead to that type of success.
What are realistic expectations for this team this year? Like, have you thought about that?
Yeah, obviously you have fans that ask you that, like, are we going to get the tournament? We're going to do this like that. Our whole thing is just like stay in like where we're at right now, and if you get good at the things that we feel like we need to be good at to be successful as a group, the wins are going to come. How many, we don't know yet, but if we'll get great at them, now you have a chance to achieve at an even higher level. If you don't, your success is probably not going to be where you want it to be. And that's our challenge, like especially when you have a whole new group like this, is to get that buy-in of like from everybody of like, okay, there's roles and all these things got to get established. But this group has been tremendous in everything that we've thrown at them to this point. And we haven't started playing real games yet.
But you can see, and I've heard it from other people since we've been here, like Lamar, his voice as a leader already. You're seeing it. Tucker, obviously, his voice, and he knows you, and he knows your system, so he can help a lot of these guys. I just feel like that's one thing that's so important these days, because you don't have a lot of, how many great leaders are there right now in college basketball? There aren't a lot of them.
Yeah, and I don't know everybody else's team, but and we're not a team that picks captains either. We kind of let that leadership just come organically, and everybody leads in different ways. Some guys are loud and they use their voices. Other guys lead with their effort and the way they come and approach practice every day. But I love the mix we have and the leadership we're getting. We have a lot of old guys. This year's really important to them. They want to make the most of it, and they've approached it that way.
Listen, Darren, we appreciate you coming and hanging out with us here. We appreciate you letting us into your practice. It's always fun to see how you guys operate. When we get back, we're going to hear from a number of the players on Darren's roster, including his son, Tucker. We're going to try to figure out where D-Rock came from. We're going to ask Tucker DeVries that when we get back.
As you know by now, we have teamed up with BetMGM again this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we will have special offers for Field of 68 fans, including same-game parlays, best-in-class live betting, and daily odds boost. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app, you sign up using bonus code FIELD, you deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Make this college basketball season one for the history books. Make it legendary. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD and get your $1,500 first bet offer today. The college basketball season will begin right here on the Field of 68. At 8 a.m. on November 3rd, we will be tipping off the inaugural Field of 68 opening day marathon. 15 hours of non-stop basketball. It will begin in Rock Hill, presented by our friends at Visit York County. Plan your itinerary today at visityorkcounty.com. HOPENY.com. Winthrop will face off with Queens in the opener, followed by Bradley taking on St. Bonaventure. Then we head out to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where it'll be presented by Sanford Sports, who is changing the way people play and making sports accessible and fun for all. Murray State gets Omaha at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, with Drake taking on Northern Arizona in the second game in Sioux Falls. Then it's back to Rock Hill for a showdown between Furman and High Point, with Merrimack taking on South Dakota State in Sioux Falls in the nightcap. Tickets for all 6 games are on sale now at the links in the description below. Field of 68, opening day.
Welcome back to Assembly Hall here on the Field of 68's preseason tour. We're here at Indiana. We were able to just watch practice. We were joined by head coach Darian DeVries, and now we have Reed Bailey with us. Davidson transfer coming in for your senior season at Indiana. I got a stat for you, Reed. I don't know if you know this. Do you know last season there were only 2 players that had 600 points, 200 rebounds, and 100 assists in the whole year? One was Reed Bailey. Do you know who the other one was?
Janai Broom. That's pretty good.
Pretty good company
That's
to be in.
ridiculous.
Is that true?
That's true.
According to the Indiana Athletics website, it is. So I don't know if that's true. If it's not, we can yell at Charlie.
That's right. Charlie doesn't get anything wrong.
Yes.
So we're good there. What's it been like being here? You know, again, you were at Davidson for 3 years. You knew Davidson. Didn't have to worry about anything. You were the vet. What's it been like with the adjustment of kind of starting over again a little bit?
I loved it. I mean, it's great. It's been a lot of fun. It just gives you some, even the plays, just getting to know the guys, everything. It's a whole new, environment that I got to get used to. But also, it's helpful that everybody's kind of doing it all at the same time with me. You know, it's like the coaches are getting adjusted to a new environment, new place. All the players are doing the same thing as me. So it just makes you feel a little bit more comfortable, more like you're not like a fish out of water in a sense. Whereas, like, you come into a freshman come in as a freshman to a new school, you have a solidified team and everybody really knows the plays. But just doing it all together and being in the same boat, I think, really has also brought us a lot closer together. But, Indiana, it's been great to be here. Love Bloomington. And the kids have been on campus or all the students have gotten back to campus for the past 2 weeks. So it's been great to see them and get to know some of them. And then practicing Assembly Hall, it can't get really any better.
Are you ready to be in here with 17,000 people in these seats?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what it's like.
When you decided to leave Davidson, what kind of led to that decision, right? You're there for 3 years. You're heading into your senior season. I'm sure you had opportunities before last year, where people have said, hey, maybe you should come here. Maybe you should put your name in the portal. We can get you this here, whatever it is. What led to that decision, and how'd you end up at Indiana?
I think what led to the decision was just me wanting to, try and play at the highest level possible. I think that was always what it was about, just really wanting to try and also expand my game and become the best player I can possibly be, because I want to be able to play professional basketball in the future. But also, when you're in middle school, high school, or all that kind of stuff, you dream about being able to play, in the Big Ten or in Assembly Hall one time, let alone all your home games being here. So I think it was really just, it wasn't a no-brainer, because it was hard to leave Davidson just being there for 3 years and just having the relationships that I've built there. But it was definitely, I think, the decision I needed to make and the change I needed to make just to be able to play against, the best teams in the country night in and night out. And that's something I really wanted to do and try and push myself to be able to do, and just create new challenges. And I think it's really exciting.
Reed comes from a family of athletes, a family loaded with athletes.
We were just talking about how your brother played at Charleston.
Yep.
Anything that has to do with Charleston, Goodman is going to know about.
I'm in on that. But did you know that his father was teammates with Sean Miller, former Field of 68er?
I did not know that.
And Sean said, it's not even close who the better player is. Reed is much better than his father. He also admitted that Reed didn't get his athleticism from his dad. He got it from his mom, right?
True, yeah.
Mom was a really good volleyball player, Pitt?
Yeah, Pitt. Yeah. I mean, definitely got it from her. I don't know. I've never seen a video of him jump, but I've seen him jump now. And
Sean didn't jump very high either. So.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, You know, he did some other things.
I think Sean told me he didn't recruit him. This is how close he is with Reed's dad. Part of the reason he didn't recruit you was because he didn't want to screw up the relationship, the friendship he had with your dad.
Yeah.
You believe that?
Yeah.
All right. I do too. I believe it too. I just was like, wow, that's not something you hear every day, right?
The way that you play, I might have said that you were going to remind some people a little bit of Nikola Jokic with the way that you can kind of play the 5 and be the initiator.
Way to oversell, comparing him to Nikola Jokic. Jeez.
But it's similar.
Right. I mean, I love you, but
I mean, is that a guy that you kind of try to model some of the stuff that you do off of?
Yeah, I think he's a great person to watch, especially being a 5-man who kind of wants to facilitate a little bit. And I mean, he's just he's really the one that's done it in the NBA. I think I don't know. I like to take bits and pieces of everybody and really just watch the game as a whole. I think that really helps me kind of understand like what I'm trying to do on the court and what kind of plays I'm trying to make. But yeah, I guess Nikola Jokic is someone I watch. I don't know if I really.
If I'm going to compare you to someone, it might as well be him, right? Yeah.
Who do you like? What's the comparison you like?
Then.
I've never really been able to settle on one now. But
you are you are a versatile big. You run. You're longer than I remember you. Mm-hmm. Like when I saw you today, I was like, because I saw you a ton in AAU ball.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, he's taller. I don't know if you grew since then, but you're definitely.
Since AAU, I might have grown.
Yeah, I think you did too. Yeah. And you make Tucker look short. I mean, next to him, you do. Yeah. And the way you run, the way you pass, the way you're able to stretch. The biggest key, I said this to Darren a little bit, is my biggest concern about this team might be rim protection. Mm-hmm. How much is that going to be a factor? I think for you, even in terms of trying to almost be aware of that this team might need more rim protection than maybe your Davidson teams did because of the size in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean, that's a valid concern. And I mean, I think I'm able to do it. And also, it really starts with I'm the one going to be in the middle, being able to play, be able to block those shots at the rim. But then also, it's kind of it relies on everybody to be able to just take away certain plays and actions and just being on the same page with everybody. And I think I think everybody out here has done an amazing job at just being able to buy into what we're trying to do on the defensive end. And
they got to guard you. That's the other thing. They got to go out there and guard you, which is not easy.
Yeah. And we saw the way this team shoots, Goodman. Man. You can give up 94 points. You score 95, you still win.
That's true.
No, you guys are going to be fun to watch. Yeah. I mean, offensively, have you seen a better shooter than Lamar?
Lamar, no, I haven't.
And you've been at Davidson. It's not like they don't have shooters at Davidson, right?
It's too effortless. I just like to sit there in the gym before practice and just watch him shoot. Yeah,
it's insane.
It's fun to watch, especially him, Tucker. We just got loads of good shooters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was told the story about your dad here.
Okay.
So, true or false, you have 2 older sisters.
I do.
Right?
Yeah.
And the rumor has it that they would sometimes lock you in a room.
In our bathroom downstairs.
In the bathroom downstairs. How old were you when they would do this? Were you like 5 or older? Like 8, 10? How much?
It was elementary school. It was probably maybe like.
He's like, this was 2 weeks ago, Jeff.
Exactly. This is the last time I went home.
And they would slip like food under the door, like oatmeal,
little crackers or like oatmeal or something. Yeah. No, it was rough growing up with them. No,
getting taunted by your older sisters, man.
Yeah.
Poor guy just got exposed on. But you know what?
They're great.
Makes you tougher.
Yeah, of course.
No more. Now I assume they can't do that to you.
I don't know. I think
scared of you now?
No, they probably do a little bit more with some jokes or some insults rather than locking me in the bathroom. But they still make sure to give it back to me every time.
You take a beating in the family group chat, huh?
Yeah, I take a beating for not responding to the family group chat.
You're the youngest.
Yeah, I am. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, listen, Reed, we appreciate you jumping on, man. Best of luck this season. We're going to enjoy watching. We're going to be rooting for you guys.
All right,
great seeing you, man.
Appreciate it.
As you know by now, we have teamed up with BetMGM again this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we will have special offers for Field of 68 fans, including same-game parlays, best-in-class live betting, and daily odds boost. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app, you sign up using bonus code FIELD, you deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Make this college basketball season one for the history books. Make it legendary. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD and get your $1,500 first bet offer today. Do you need your fix of college basketball analysis at the end of every night during the season? If you crave instant reactions and informed breakdowns, make sure you tune into the Field of 68 After Dark every night with access to the biggest stars in the sport and a cast of characters that includes the likes of Tyler Hansbrough, Randolph Childress, John Fanta, John Henson, Terrence Oglesby, Jarrell McNeil, and many, many more. The Field of 68 After Dark is where college basketball happens.
Athlete AI is the story of the athlete. And every athlete deserves to have the story told. Under the lights and in the spotlight. This is your moment, your rule. Download, capture, create, share. Athlete AI. Your name is True.
Welcome back to Assembly Hall. Field of 68 road trip here in Bloomington, Indiana. We're now joined by Tucker DeVries, who we just watched you have a really impressive practice. We saw the shooting. His shoulder looked healthy, man. That's the biggest question that we have after the way that your season ended last year. How are you feeling? How's the shoulder? Are you back to 100%?
Yeah, I mean, the shoulder feels great. And this is the first year in 3 years I've got to have an actual off season, which is obviously really helpful. And going into like even the fall of just kind of being in shape already is very important. And I think that allows you to get ready for a season well, and being able to lift again. Has been also pretty helpful for more than a month before the season. But I feel great, and I'm excited for this last go around.
What was the actual injury that you were dealing with?
Yeah, I've had quite a few issues on both sides. There's I've had 3 different surgeries on both shoulders, and their medical terms are a lot bigger than mine.
But you can still golf, I hear.
Yeah, I've
hasn't affected your golf game.
No, this summer, once I got healthy and was able to go out there, we're done at 4:00 every day, so it gives me something to do, especially when you're out here. And
when you beat your dads, you know what?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He
makes it a little more fun.
Yeah.
It kills him.
Yeah. I get to play quite a bit when we're done at 4 every day, so it gives me something to do in the summer.
Can you beat Mac?
I've actually never played with Mac.
I mean, I hear he can drive.
Yeah, I've heard he's pretty good.
Yeah,
I didn't really play much when I was back in Omaha, but maybe sometime down the road.
As you're getting used to this new roster and this new team and this new location and this new town that you're living in, you guys were able to go to Puerto Rico. What was it, back in July? How valuable was that experience? Just kind of getting to know like the human beings that you're going to be on a team with. So it's not just a roster that you put together. You're putting together a team, a group that can compete together.
Yeah, I think the foreign trip is very important. You get extra hours of practice in the summertime to kind of prepare and get to know the guys, especially when you're bringing in so many guys, to get to be on the same page and learn each other and learn the terminology. And even for some of the coaches with the new staff, just getting to learn everything that we're trying to implement this year and having that extra time. And then the trip itself is great to spend so much time together, get to play somebody other than ourselves, to kind of see where we're at. And I thought that trip did a great job of testing us. We got to even play some pretty talented teams down there, which is pretty helpful because sometimes that can't be the case. But I think every year I've actually been this is 3 in a row in the 3 schools. So and every year you see the just kind of when you
was that a plan? Like, was that like, hey, you know, I'm going to transfer to a place that's going to allow me to go to the islands in July? That.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
All right, where'd you go? Where were the 3 places you've gone?
Drake, we went to Spain, and West Virginia, we went to Italy, and then this past year we went to Puerto Rico.
All right, your favorite place of the 3? You got to pick.
Ooh.
I know my favorite out of those 3. You've only been to one of them.
Spain, we got the most free time. Like, just our games were kind of set up better, so we got the most time to just kind of like go enjoy it. But Puerto Rico is nice because we were right by the beach.
You win any money gambling?
No.
It's tough, man.
That doesn't sound good.
It's not the worst thing. Lose early so you don't keep going back, because you're going to lose in the long run anyway.
So I got a question for you. We just asked your dad this. I'm coaching my son right now, right? He's 10 years old. And one of the things that I've learned is that if you are the dad and the coach, the kid is not going to listen to a word you say ever. He's got to come from somebody else. At what point did you realize, hey, you know what, maybe I can listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. And can you answer that question talking to my son, Chase, the 10-year-old, please?
Yeah, well, actually, my dad never coached me. He's honestly said he never would. This was like pretty young. He didn't want to have to, deal with it. And then
maybe you a pain in the ass as a kid or something?
No, he didn't know how to kind of decipher it, I guess. And he was kind of the parent that just never said anything. I think most coaches he knows what that side's like and kind of appreciates just, let the coaches coach and, parents be parents. So he was kind of just the parent and all growing up. And then I don't know if maybe I just panned out a little better than he thought. And, he wanted me to come play for him, and I thought it was a great opportunity. But obviously it helps having that knowledge, in the house, just growing up every day around basketball and, being able to see his path and what he does every day was pretty cool growing up.
What's it like being in the locker room? Tell me, when guys are ripping on your dad,
I'm probably ripping at him too.
Are you? Do you pile on? Because I remember talking to Doug about this, Doug McDermott, and Doug's similar. Your personalities are very similar. Mm-hmm. How do you handle some of those things, though?
To be honest, it's never really been an issue. I mean, I'm part of the team. I think most of the guys see that way. Maybe if they're really going at them and I walk in, and maybe
they'll probably shut up.
Maybe calm it down a little bit, but I've probably been in the same conversation saying the same thing. So
it's not run enough plays for me,
or too many sprints or nines we call them.
You've been now the coach's son at 3 different stops. What's been the hardest part about that? Is it an adjustment for you? Do you feel the criticism from fans or media? Like what has been the hardest part about that?
I'd say the hardest part is just outside expectations. If everything goes well, then it's obviously working great. When it doesn't, it's you're the coach's son and you need to be performing better. But to be honest, I think as a group we try to just let it stay within our locker room. Really the only opinions that can affect us is the ones that are in the locker room. And as long as, we stay on the same page and on the same track, everything will go well.
All right. So if there's anybody that knows where the nickname D-Rock came from, it's you. I mean, you have to know the answer, right? Nobody knows. Dane Altman, Greg McDermott, every damn assistant he's been with. But you're his kid. You have to. Go ahead. Come on.
The nickname's older than I am, so I really don't know the original story, but I definitely can make a call to find out.
Can we do that? Who would you call? Who would you call?
Your mom? I would call his college roommate. But
who's his college roommate? Just so
Dustin.
Dustin?
Yeah.
Last name?
Monternock.
All right.
He'll be here. You can ask him yourself.
All right, good. I'm going to leave that up to you first. You're going to play reporter for me.
The nickname kind of died off for a little bit when he went to Drake, and then
really,
as I've heard it kind of come back a little bit. I don't know if
everybody in the industry, that's all they call him. Every coach. Yeah, every coach.
I don't know when he became a head coach at Drake, his players stopped calling him that, but it's circled back.
Coming back.
I've never heard a player calling him yet, but
really?
Maybe.
What do you call him? Now?
Yo. Yo.
Even at home? Same thing?
No, I'll call him Dad at home.
You do. But here, yo. So he knows yo is meant for him?
Yeah, or he just I don't really call him anything. Usually he knows if I'm asking a question.
When you were growing up and he was in charge of dinner, what was he making?
A phone call chicken legs, barbecue chicken legs.
Okay, so he can cook.
on the grill.
Nowhere else. Me too.
Or breakfast. He can do breakfast sometimes.
What's this team gonna look like? You know, again, a lot of new pieces. You didn't really know these guys, so when you went to Puerto Rico, at least you got a little bit of a feel for kind of who they are. Mm-hmm. What do you think this team's going to look like? Because we're watching practice and we're like, man, everybody can shoot it. We know that. Mm-hmm. The biggest question I think we all have is like, can you guys guard at a high enough level?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first thing is when you just watch the roster or see the roster, everybody can really shoot it 1 through 5 on the floor, which will allow us for more space on offense, more driving lanes for even guys that, you know, maybe not aren't the one-on-one guys, but can still, when there's open space in the floor, it's a lot easier to get in the paint, and then you're playing inside out, and then you're getting open threes. So I think the space on offense would be a big part of our offense, and then how well we share the ball. And then defensively, it's it'll be the same as it's always been in the past years with my dad, just physical guard pressure, and then everybody else kind of, you know, protecting those guys and helping those guys and allowing them to be aggressive and physical on the ball.
When was the last time you and your dad played one-on-one? Do you remember?
It depends who you ask.
Oh, okay. I want your version of the story.
Had to be a while ago. He's not playing you.
So the day he
right?
got the job at Drake, we had like a bunch of downtime, and we were just messing around in the facility. I do remember playing then, and I did not win.
Really? He beat you?
Yes, he did.
And you're admitting this?
That was I would have been a freshman in high school.
Okay. All right.
But there was a time I beat him before. He claims not, but I definitely did, and then I think that was the last time. It was really close too, so I think he's never played me since.
Because he's got to leave on a win.
Yeah.
Do you know what he shot? You know what his career 3-point percentage was in college? Any idea?
I don't know the number. I know it was pretty good because I think he had I remember he got the record beat on him for like most threes when he was there coaching at UNI for Creighton. So I just know it had to be pretty.
Do you know your career 3-point percentage right now? I don't know it offhand. I know his.
His is probably better.
It is. I think it is. Yeah. I think it's 41%.
Yeah, mine's not 41.
You got one more year.
Yeah, freshman year killed me.
You got one more year.
Here's the last question I got for you. All right, we're gonna give you 5 threes from 5 spots.
I'm winning.
You and Lamar?
Oh, I thought it was my dad. Me and Lamar, it'd be really close. It'd be whoever's day it is.
You can say I'm winning.
Yeah, we've done it, and it's whoever's day.
I asked your dad this to close. I'll ask you the same question. What are your expectations for this year at Indiana?
NCAA tournament for sure. I think that should be the goal every year. When you step on the floor, first day of practice, that goal is the NCAA tournament, and then, you know, from there, really anything can happen. Obviously, everybody wants to win a national championship, but ultimately, there's a lot of things involved to try and doing that. So I think as long as we put our best foot forward, and we're working extremely hard, and you make that NCAA tournament, that, you know, the long-term success gets you to the NCAA tournament. Then once you get to the NCAA tournament, there's a lot of, you know, variables that decide how. Obviously, every team there is good, so you want to win those games, but you know, just working extremely hard throughout the off season, and then as the season goes on, getting better and better and playing your best basketball in March, and then you can see the success in the tournament.
Yeah, Tucker, we appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for hanging out. Coming up, we're still going to hear from Connor Enright. We're going to hear from Lamar Wilkerson, and we're going to hear from Tayton Conerway. That's coming up next.
Would you be surprised to find out that the Field of 68 is home to more than 35 podcasts? More than 25 team-specific podcasts that are hosted by the people that know what fans want the most. The Goodman and Humble podcast, the DTF podcast, the A10 Insider podcast, and the Mountain West podcast. But wait, there's even more. The Field of 68 will be launching the ACC Insider podcast this year. Subscribe to this channel and come along for the ride. There is no sport in America that is more difficult to follow than college basketball. It can be overwhelming. That's where the Field of 68 Daily comes into play. The Daily is your go-to source for injury updates, recruiting news, and transfer portal additions that actually matter. For just $50 a year, get access to the same information that your favorite team's coaching staff is subscribed for. Quality content can be hard to find in the college basketball space. The Daily is here to help you with that. As you know by now, we have teamed up with BetMGM again this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we will have special offers for Field of 68 fans, including same-game parlays, best-in-class live betting, and daily odds boost. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app, you sign up using bonus code FIELD, you deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Make this college basketball season one for the history books. Make it legendary. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD and get your $1,500 first bet offer today.
Welcome back to the Field of 68's road trip. We are live here in Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana, and I'm now joined by Tayton Conerway and Lamar Wilkerson, two of the stars of the transfer class here at Indiana. And fellas, I want you both to kind of answer this because you guys have both had long journeys, and we're going to talk about this, but long journeys to kind of get to.
Are you calling them old?
Yeah, well, yeah, I am calling them old, but to get to what is the pinnacle of college basketball. This is Indiana. This is one of the blue blood programs. This is one of the biggest programs in the sport. You guys have been here for what, 4 or 5 months now?
Yes, sir.
What has been maybe the most eye-opening thing about being at Indiana that you've experienced so far, Lamar?
I'll probably say just the culture, the standard that everybody holds us up to, being a blue blood, being, one of the top programs in the nation, it's a high standard. So just being held to that standard and then, just moving correctly outside of basketball and then just the intensity, just playing under DeVries, playing at that, coming from that mid-major to the high major level. So I'll say the intensity is changed.
I would definitely have to go along the same lines with the way like everybody looks at us, kind of like not really expectations, but it is expectations in a way. Like they want to get back to that winning style and that winning program, and we all want the same thing. And another big thing is how close our team got. Like just throwing us all into this new little mix, and like we didn't know anybody before we got here, and I barely even knew him. And we hit the ground running. Everybody's laughing, joking, everybody's comfortable. So it's been good so far.
Well, you guys have something in common, right? I mean, you both came from JUCO. Both of you were told over and over probably you're not good enough, and now you're here. What does that mean? Like when you look up and you're like, you see the banners, right? And it wasn't in your lifetime, but people know Indiana basketball for tradition, even if it dates back a while. What's it like? I mean, you having that chip in your shoulder, being here now, and I know how hard you work.
Man, for me, it's just, you just got to, sky's the limit, man. Like, everybody can tell you this, tell you that, but as long as you have a dream and you have tunnel vision to try to reach that dream, man, anything's possible. And then that's what this just has showed me, man. Like, everybody's path different, everybody come from different, some people came straight out of high school to this, some people even skip a class in high school to come to this. We just took the long route, and it helped us. It paved the way for us. It made us the dogs that we are today.
Well, we teased it earlier before we started the practice. Your road was one that took you to where you were basically out of basketball. People told you weren't good enough, and you were working at a factory for a month?
Yeah, I was working at Husqvarna in Nashville, Arkansas, man. I was building chainsaws. I was building lawnmowers, leaf blowers, and everything for a month. And then I found out real quick that that's not the route I wanted to go. I couldn't do it, man. 12-hour shifts on a student line, yeah, I couldn't do it, man.
But okay, so go a little bit more in depth about that, like how you ended up there, why you ended up there, and then how you got out of there.
So basically, my D2 coach, I committed to D2 in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. He left, went to Arkansas Tech, called me, was like, hey, you want to come to Arkansas Tech? I was trying to get out of Arkansas, so I was like, no. So then I was reopened my recruitment. And then after I reopened my recruitment, everything was slow. Wasn't nobody reaching out. Wasn't nobody calling. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to get a job, try to stack some money up. So then I just started working. And then I called my one of my homeboys, and we was just talking about what he was finna do because he was finna go JUCO. I seen he committed, so I was just calling him, congratulating him. And he was like, yeah, I'm seeing you in D2. And I was like, actually, he just left, so I really don't got nothing. He was like, for real? He was like, hold on, give me 5 minutes. Call Coach Shear. Coach Shear called me in the next 10 minutes and was like, hey, come out next 2 weeks And so after that, I went to Poplar Bluff, and then everything's been history since then.
Crazy. That is crazy.
Crazy,
Think
man.
about that. Especially watching him shoot. It's like when you watch him shoot, were you the same size?
Yeah, but I've always been taller ever since I hit a growth spurt like the 8th grade. I went from like 5'11" to like 6'3", and then after that, I was just always tall. I was a little skinny kid though, so.
How did you get from your junior college to Sam Houston State?
So my first year, I got hurt, almost blew my knee out, so I had to go back another year. And then Cody Hopkins actually saw me and was like, "Hey man, I need you to come to Atlanta, Georgia for this JUCO showcase." Went up there, did what I had to do. Justin Bailey saw me, and then ever since then we built a relationship. I built a relationship with all the coaches at Sam Houston, and then they took a risk on me, and then it just turned out to happen the right way.
Your road's been maybe not quite the same, but it's been a lot of. You did what, 3 years in JUCO?
I did
3 years, 2 different JUCOs. Yeah. Then you go to Troy, and now you're at Indiana. Like, did you almost like pinch yourself of like, how did I get here?
Every day, man. Especially when I talk to my mom, just like her reminding me, like I was in Grayson County, like dude, you seen the same people every day. Like there was no change. I knew everybody that worked at the Culvers and the McDonald's. Like you see the same people. But coming out here, seeing like all the new faces and just how everybody's like not too cool for anything. Like they're open to talk to you and they're open to have a conversation. So that always goes a long way.
This is the first time that you've been at a program that would probably be referred to as a basketball school, right? You're from Texas. You're from, as we talked last night, Burleson, Texas, not Dallas, right?
Not
Burleson,
Dallas, not Dallas, Burleson.
But you went to high school where high school football is king.
Yep.
And then you go to junior college where it's JUCO. Mm-hmm. Then you go to Troy, and it's in Louisiana. It's the same kind of thing. It's football country. And now you're up here at a basketball school. What has that been like?
I mean, the love is crazy, and like I said, the expectations. Like I've never really had. Like everybody's always expected the team, they want to have winners and stuff, but like if they lost, it didn't mean as much because as long as football won, everybody was good. So having that extra chip on your shoulder, that you're not only playing for yourself, like you got fans that you gotta back up, and so that goes a long way, and it just makes you practice harder, makes you get in the gym a little bit more. It goes a long way.
Have either of you guys ever played in front of this many filled seats before?
I actually played here last year.
You did?
Yeah.
What'd you lose by?
Yeah, man. Say how that.
Actually, it was close, wasn't it?
It was
for a little while.
It was close for a little while.
For a little while.
Man. Yeah, and then they took off, and I think it was a double-digit margin. We lost,
So, a lot of people know you guys with NIL in place. You guys are being compensated now, but what I don't think a lot of people know, Lamar. And I don't know if you want to talk about this or not, but I'm going to ask you because I know it, is that you gave back to Sam Houston. I've been saying this for years. Rob knows this, that I think the schools, for evaluating you, for developing you, for helping you get to that point, should be compensated. Well, the school didn't get compensated by Indiana here. You gave back. You gave money, 6 figures, to Sam Houston State to help the place that helped develop you and make you into the player you are now. Why?
Man, I did it out of love, man. I did it out of love for Coach Mudge, for just Sam Houston. I've been there for 3 years, so it was home for me. I got comfortable there. I built a family with a lot of people, a lot of donors and everything. So I just gave back because I felt like, I want to see their program strive. I want to keep seeing them get better over time. So I was willingly to help.
That's cool.
Was that where you had your camp this summer?
Oh, I had my camp in Texarkana, where I'm from. Well, I'm actually from the outskirts of Texarkana, but I had it in Texarkana.
Texarkana has outskirts?
Yeah, the country,
So that's not the outskirts?
Yeah.
We're from cities.
Yeah,
We're from cities.
For me, that's the city. Like, that's the city. Like, if you go to Texarkana, we call that the city.
All right.
So,
but back to your camp. You had a free camp for local kids, right? That was that was one of the sticking points that you had with making this move.
Right.
Talk to me about why you did that and what that experience meant for you.
Man, down there is not a lot of people that's been able to be in the position I am. I feel like it's not a lot of kids down there that's able to, have that mentor that they can come talk to about, that people actually want to, because there's a lot of kids down there that get caught in the wrong things just because they don't have nobody to talk to. they don't have nobody to, you know, be that mentor as far as the sports wise. So I came back to show them like, hey, like if I did it, you can do it. You know, like it may not be the easiest route. It may not happen when you want it to, but as long as you work and, you know, you just stay true to what you believe in, man, and believe in yourself, then it's possible.
I was told the thing that made your mom the proudest about that, it wasn't just the camp, it wasn't just giving back. It's that when you showed up at the camp, you rented a Hyundai Santa Fe. Is that right? Showed up in a minivan?
Yeah, basically showed up in a mom car. Yeah, man.
All right. While we're talking about, you know, things from your roots, Dave, we got to get back to your roots a little bit. I did not know this at all. Tell me kind of what you used to do when you were younger and what you still kind of like to do growing up there in Burleson, Texas.
So I've always been like outside. Like my mom used to lock the door and make us stay outside. So we always used to just find stuff to do, man. We ride horses, chase cows, man. We did everything. So I ended up getting into FFA. My uncle, he raised a lot of animals. And honestly, I just did it at first because they were like, every animal you show, you get 2 weeks out of school. And you don't have to go. So I'm going to the fair, the state fair, feeding my cow. And then I'm going to ride rides and stuff, eating funnel cake and everything. And then just like, once you kind of flip it to like the learning side, like you're like raising this animal because you get it as a baby and you have to raise it and you show it against other animals that have been raised as a baby and you got to feed it the right way and you got to like, man, there's so much stuff that goes into it. And so I ended up trying to take a little bit of pride into it. And not to mention you can win a little bit of money out of it.
Really?
Too. So that was pretty cool.
So we got some video here. We got some video here of you back. Look at that. Take us through this. Give us a little play-by-play.
So I actually got pinned. So they go through. There's probably about 50 pigs that'll go through. And that dude right there, I don't know if you see him in the jacket. He's kind of the judge, and he looks at the muscles. You kind of want them to be big, like everything you would eat, basically, like the ham. Like you want it to be a muscle on the body, but you don't want it to be too strong where the pig can't walk and stuff. So I mean, I'm just kind of walking them around, keeping them in sight.
Why are you smacking them?
Because like whenever they get their head up, their back flexes, so it makes them look bigger. And then you don't want nothing that's walking around all dragging his nose in the dirt. You just don't look good to eat. So
all right, what's the most money you won?
Man, I didn't win nothing too crazy. I think the most I won probably like at one time would probably be 3,000 for a show.
That's pretty good.
But I mean, like
that's really good.
But once you,
I thought you were gonna say 300.
Once you flip it and you realize
Lamar,
how much
that's real money.
How much these animals actually cost, and
really?
then you got to cost on the feed. Like they don't eat like us, man. They eat all day. Yeah, they eat good too. They eat better than us basically. But definitely, no, it was just a fun experience. Like it was something new and like. Another thing, like, people kind of counted you out. You know, you're not supposed to be doing that. Like, man, you see this pro walking through the ring, man.
They're looking at you like no chance. They're
looking at the pig no more, but watching me show. But
they're not intimidated by you over there.
Yeah, it was cool, though, because I definitely love that side. Like I said, growing up, we were always out on the land just doing stuff. Like, I wouldn't say I was like Cowboys and Indians country, but I'm out there riding dirt bikes, four-wheelers, just playing in the dirt. Just nature. Yeah, just being outside.
All right, let's get to the team here. We got a few minutes left. I want to get to on the court. Tayton, I want you to give me a full scouting report on Lamar. What you've seen so far. Describe his game to Indiana fans that have yet to see him play. What are they going to get?
I mean, of course, he's a winner, dude. Like it don't matter if he got a bad leg or he got broken up with before the game. It don't matter, man. He gonna come out here. And he is a little emotional sometimes, so you gotta watch that. But he'll come out here, man. He's gonna find a way to win. That's one thing that I really like. If I could take something from him, that's what I like. Is like this ability that he's gonna win. Like no matter what he has to do, he's gonna win. And of course, his shooting is off the charts. I mean, he's kind of shooting like me now, but he's getting it done. He's getting it done. He's shooting real good. I mean, and the thing that like he's like. Is his defense. Like, people kind of count him out there like he's just a shooter. Yeah. The dude can guard, man. And he'll guard anybody. Like, he don't care if it's a 7-footer or if it's a little dude. He'll guard any one of them, and he'll guard them just as hard as anybody else on the court. So, definitely underrated on the defensive side, and I also played him at Troy 2 years ago.
Tell him how that went now.
What happened?
Man, we were up at by 20 points at halftime. They came back and won by 2, man. Man, my coach was so mad, bro. I ran so much for him.
Scott Cross, old school.
Shout out Cross, man. Yeah. He wasn't too happy about that one, man. But they got us that time. They got lucky or whatever. But
down 20 and came back and win. That's not luck, bro.
Anyway, man, he's just a great player. Definitely somebody you want on your side. You don't want to play against him because it's gonna be a long night for you.
So you said he's a little bit emotional.
Yeah,
right?
when it comes to, sometimes you gotta watch him, man.
Well, if he gets broken up with it, because we walked in here and the playlist that was playing while you're shooting.
I'm glad y'all noticed
Neo
that, man.
So Sick.
Hold on.
He got an old soul, man. He got a real old soul.
That ain't
Old soul.
Yeah, he like 25 or something right now.
I'm 23.
You're talking.
the
What are you?
same age,
You're 24.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little R&B throwbacks, man. There's nothing wrong with it.
All right. So now it's your turn.
Came out when I was like 18 years old. That was my era. You call it? That's,
No, I heard that. No, I heard that about
my bad.
R&B, right? Old R&B.
Yeah, R&B.
Look at that over 21. Man.
All right, flip it. Give me a full breakdown on Tayton.
Oh man, Tayton, man.
What you got for me?
On the court.
Okay,
Lamar, right?
okay. We talk on the court only.
On the court.
man,
We don't want to get him in trouble.
Yeah, man. Honestly, man, he a dog. You know, he's a point guard. But really, he's getting into that point guard role. But he's a pass first though. He loves passing the ball. Man, he creative with it. Man, it kind of remind you a little Magic Johnson. You know, it's not a lot of people that, you know, that you could say play like that, man. But as far as just creativity with the ball, deception, everything, he's one of the ones. And then, you know, he can guard. You know, he reaches a lot. You know, he reaches, gambles a lot. But, you know, we expect that out of Tayton. If Tayton wasn't reaching and gambling, you know. But his shooting is underrated. He can really shoot the ball. We just, you know.
And fast.
Yeah, he can
right? North-south, fast.
Yeah, he can shoot the ball, man. Defensive, he's disruptive on the defensive end, and then he's just energetic, man. He just always plays with a lot of energy. He plays, you know, with that chip on his shoulder. You could tell that he went JUCO for sure.
No, we're good. We're good. Listen, these guys, we spent some time with them last night, and you're talking about two guys that you can tell appreciate where you are now.
For sure.
Not just being in Indiana, but appreciate kind of the road that you guys have traveled to get here. And I think you understand what the opportunity that you have in front of you over the next, whatever it is, 6-7 months to try to get this program where a lot of people feel it should be.
Definitely.
So, listen, great to meet you guys. Great to see you. Thanks for the hospitality. And we'll be out here again. We'll be seeing you soon.
Before we go, can we get a review of the tacos from last night?
Man, the tacos were good, man. He put He put too much queso on his, so he ended up finishing his plates. But I finished my plate.
But you said you had like Doritos.
Yeah, I had the spicy nacho Doritos, and then I put the taco stuff he made. Had a little extra seasoning on there, man.
I don't know, Lamar.
He doesn't season his food enough. Is that
when he's making it for him, he puts a lot of seasoning. When he makes it for other people, he gets a little nervous. I think it's
Tayton is a little bland, so I got to take a little season off of it.
No, they were good though, man. And
Chef Boyardee in the kitchen.
He's always doing stuff like that. In other ways,
man.
He's always just looking out. So I do appreciate him.
We appreciate you guys being here.
Appreciate y'all.
We got a couple
Great to
more
see you
interviews
guys.
coming up here. Field of 68 Road Trip Assembly Hall. We'll be right back.
As you know by now, we have teamed up with BetMGM again this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we will have special offers for Field of 68 fans, including same-game parlays, best-in-class live betting, and daily odds boost. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app, you sign up using bonus code FIELD, you deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Make this college basketball season one for the history books. Make it legendary. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD and get your $1,500 first bet offer today. The college basketball season will begin right here on the Field of 68. At 8 a.m. on November 3rd, we will be tipping off the inaugural Field of 68 opening day marathon. 15 hours of non-stop basketball. It will begin in Rock Hill, presented by our friends at Visit York County. Plan your itinerary today at visityorkcounty.com. Winthrop will face off with Queens in the opener, followed by Bradley taking on St. Bonaventure. Then we head out to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where it'll be presented by Sanford Sports, who is changing the way people play and making sports accessible and fun for all. Murray State gets Omaha at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, with Drake taking on Northern Arizona in the second game in Sioux Falls. Then it's back to Rock Hill for a showdown between Furman and High Point, with Merrimack taking on South Dakota State in Sioux Falls in the nightcap. Tickets for all 6 games are on sale now at the links in the description below. Field of 68, opening day.
Well, welcome back. Field of 68 here live from Assembly Hall, Bloomington, Indiana. We're now joined by Coner Enright, who is one of the players on this team that has a little bit of knowledge of what Darian DeVries and Tucker DeVries can bring to the program. You played with them for 2 years in a redshirt year at Drake, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Let's start with this. Give me the full breakdown of what Darian DeVries is like as a coach, not just in terms of what you're going to run, but his personality, what fans here can expect to see out of him.
Yeah, I mean he's a really cool dude. Like off the court, like he'll hang out with us, have us at his house. We'll chill. Like he can be a normal person. He's not just like all basketball all the time, but like when it comes down to basketball, he's in the office 24/7. He's watching film. Like he's a junkie. He's a hoops junkie. He's like crazy detailed. Like you could just tell like the way he wants everything done. He coaches kind of the way he wants us to play, just straight intensity and 100% effort all the time. And I think that just reflects in himself.
This crowd's going to love you, by the way. They're going to love you. Like for fans right now watching and they don't know Coner Enright, very few players play harder than you. Very few players play with more emotion than you. Where did you get that from? Has that always been you with the emotion and, trying to get under guys' skin a little bit?
Yeah. I've learned to maybe at times tone that down because there's a time and place for that. But I don't know. I think I've always just played with a little bit of edge, being a, tiny little scrawny white kid. Like
what are you at now? Give me the height and weight.
I'm 180 right now. Right. I'm 6'1" in shoes. I'm like 6 foot and a half with no. Whatever. Yep. I'm 6'1". I'm 6'1" with shoes.
180 pounds. It took a while to get to 180, right?
Yeah. I mean, I came in at 161 when I was a freshman. I was a twig. Like I got hit in the chest first couple practices. Roman Penn at Drake. I knew how to get a little bit bigger. Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. So, but I'm bigger now. So, I mean, I think just that chip on my shoulder, just being undersized and playing with emotion. Now I got 17,000 people. Oh man, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
You're gonna get those. You're gonna get them going. Aren't you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it changes the game, changes the team, changes the way you play. So I think the energy is important.
How did you reconnect? Like, what was the process of going? I mean, obviously you spent last year at DePaul, right? Yeah. The process of entering the portal, realizing you got another year, seeing him come to Indiana. I believe you were the first non-family member. To
I might have committed before Tucker. If I'm being honest. I mean, he was on the fire.
Right, exactly.
Officially, yeah. But no, I mean, he recruited me to West Virginia. I'm just not one to want to go far from home. And DePaul was really close to home. So, but when he went to Indiana, I decided to enter the portal. That's a school that I've been a fan of because my brother went here for a long time. So just having that connection, and I love what DeVries does. Like I love playing for him. I still do, obviously, but so I was like, it's kind of no brainer to want to come here, and reached out, talked to him and a couple of the other guys, and done deal.
I talked to Chris Holtman, who we played for last year, and Holt said, I've never ever had a player take more charges in my career.
I didn't even take that many last year.
He said on ball. He said on ball, he's never had anybody take more charges.
Yeah.
How much does that kind of get your teammates going too? Because I think a lot of what you do rubs off and kind of helps out the team overall, get them going.
Yeah, I think that's another energy play. Obviously, it's a lot harder now. Refs don't want to call it.
That's so true.
So I mean, it is what it is. It takes a little bit away from that part of my game, but I think it's just like I said, it's like diving on the floor. It's like you putting your body on the line. Other guys see that and they know you're giving your all, so they're going to do the same.
So we got a undersized white point guard that makes fans angry and takes a bunch of charges. You didn't end up at Duke?
Somehow I did it, but yeah, I feel like I fit right in there as long as I don't trip anybody.
Oh, nice! I like it. That was
He's
good.
ready. He's ready.
No. The other thing with him is, and I don't know. You said you're going to tone it down a little bit, but. Is there a better trash talker in college? Like in college basketball, have you gone up against better trash talkers than you?
I mean, there's guys that just say stuff nonstop. I'd say I'm good at just getting under people's skin and then not reacting to it as much.
Is it talking a lot of it, or not even having to?
Not really. Like honestly, I'll do there was one thing. I was in the 8th grade, and I ended up actually being teammates with this kid in AAU. I was picking him up full court. I was just poking him in the stomach the whole time down the court, the whole time. And he was like, I hate it. Like it was pissing him off so much. But then like it's little things like here and there. Or, like,
they love you on their team, but hate playing against
exactly,
you. Right?
Complete
And
opposite.
that's like the greatest compliment you can give somebody.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you want. What is this team's? You've been around them enough now.
Yeah.
You obviously know Tucker, you know Darren, but some of these new guys in Puerto Rico, you had a chance to see.
Mm-hmm.
What is the DNA of this team gonna be? What if I'm gonna say what is this team gonna be known for this year? What is it?
Well, I thought, in Puerto Rico, we got down 2 of the games, big. Obviously, you guys saw on tweets or whatever, but we came back. So I think that shows just we're going to be gritty and tough. And then, if we can get stops, like gritty and tough on defense, this team's going to be fast and be able to score. Because we got 5 guys out there that can shoot all the time. I think, we're a little undersized, a little bit, but I think we'll make up for that with our effort and just kind of grind you down to the end of the game.
So you talked. Goodman said that you were a trash talker and you were at Drake, which worked. You guys made 2 tournaments, finished second in a really good Valley a couple years in a row. And then you go to DePaul. Like, were you able to still talk while you were?
He still talked.
Yeah, definitely still did, but it was different because I had a different role. So it was hard. I was playing a lot more minutes as well. Playing 38 minutes. Didn't realize how hard that was. 35 minutes before I got hurt. Just different roles. So I feel like I couldn't expend as much energy doing some of that extra stuff.
But your role here, though, listen, we've done a little digging since we've been here, and it sounds like certainly you're going to have a chance to start for this team. Yeah. What do you envision your role on this team this year?
Yeah, starter or not, all I want to do is win. Like I could care less about what else. But I think I'll be kind of maybe a Swiss Army knife a little bit. Like I can be point guard next to Tayton. I can play the 2. I can, I know 1 through 5 on the plays, so you throw me anywhere. Kind of do a little bit of everything, and just because I know DeVries' system, I can just direct guys where they got to go and what they got to do.
We did say that rim protection could be an issue. So if we put you at the 5, and
I don't know about all that. I'll take a charge.
6'1.5".
Yeah, I'll front the post. That's about it. I don't got any rim protection.
So the last thing I got for you is. When you're on the floor together with Reed Bailey and you got Tayton out there, and you basically got 3 guys, that have averaged more than 4 assists a game. Yeah. Right? How does the ball pop right now? Like, I got to imagine when you're kind of going through some of these sets and you're playing and you're starting to figure out what these guys can do, it's a lot of fun to just have 3 guys that are willing to doop, 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 and then 2 shooters that apparently don't miss.
Yeah, no, they don't. It's really nice, though. Like, when we get in the flow, it's so good, but even in Puerto Rico, those times, like, we were passing too much. Like, we were passing up open shots, so it's like a little balance of it. But yeah, like, we don't have any selfish dudes in this team, so it's great. It's like the ideal way to play. So perfect.
You've been in a league in the Valley that was known for shooters. Yeah. Right? DePaul, you played in the Big East last year. Played with and against a lot of great shooters. You've seen Lamar now for a while here in the preseason. Yeah. Where do you put him?
Well, he's up there because, we got like shot trackers and look at the numbers every week, and Lamar's like 85% from 3. I'm like, that makes no sense. Right. Yeah,
85?
Yeah, he'll be doing catch and shoot, and he'll have
won't miss
100, 1,000 shots, and he'll be 850 of them. We make them. Free throws, he's at like 97%. Like, I don't even know if he misses free throws ever, but it's ridiculous. He's got to be top 3. I don't know if I can remember the whole list. Tucker's up there too, but they don't miss.
No, it's going to be fun. Yeah. Again, you're offensively, you guys are going to be so much fun to watch, and they really haven't been here over the last couple of years. It's been a tough watch offensively. Is the key, in your opinion, still maybe on the defensive end this year?
Yeah, I think so, because it'll make our offense that much better too. But if we get stops, we can get out. I don't think there's a team we can't play with. But it starts on defensive end, so just got to keep working on that.
Yeah, well, listen, Conerway, appreciate you jumping on. Appreciate you hanging out, providing some insight into the DeVries family tree. So we'll be back here in just a minute. More from Field of 68's road trip here, Bloomington, Indiana.
Athlete AI is the story of the athlete. And every athlete deserves to have the story told. Under the lights and in the spotlight. This is your moment, your room. Download, capture, create, share. Athlete AI. Your name is Trent.
There is no sport in America that is more difficult to follow than college basketball. It can be overwhelming. That's where the Field of 68 Daily comes into play. The Daily is your go-to source for injury updates, recruiting news, and transfer portal additions that actually matter. For just $50 a year, get access to the same information that your favorite team's coaching staff is subscribed for. Quality content can be hard to find in the college basketball space. The Daily is here to help you with that. As you know by now, we have teamed up with BetMGM again this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we will have special offers for Field of 68 fans, including same-game parlays, best-in-class live betting, and daily odds boost. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app. You sign up using bonus code FIELD. You deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Make this college basketball season one for the history books. Make it legendary. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD and get your $1,500 first bet offer today.
All right, welcome back. Bloomington, Indiana, Assembly Hall. First stop of our Field of 68 road trip. And we're going to finish off with one of my favorite people, period. Gosh. Teri Moren, head coach, Indiana women's basketball, and maybe my favorite person, right? My daughter, Talia. And this is fun for me. This is fun because Indiana women's basketball has brought me a ton of joy since Talia's been here. Watching your teams, how you coach them, because of how they play. And it's just been something that, honestly, I love. I mean, I can watch and cheer. Like, I can't cheer for a lot of teams. So you've enabled me to be able to do that, and it's been awesome. And obviously, Talia's relationship with the Indiana women's program has been great. So first of all, I want to thank you for that.
Thank you. I love the word joy. Yeah, I love the word joy. And I hope we can only not just bring that to you, Jeff, but also our special fans that show up here night in and night out to cheer us on.
Which you do. So, all right. Give me kind of the breakdown of this year, Teri.
Oh, God.
The breakdown. I look at the roster, and I'm like, I don't and not just for your team.
Sure.
I mean, I look at most men's teams and say the same thing. Yeah. Like, you've got to educate yourself now on the changing landscape, and maybe that should be the first question, is you've been doing this a long time.
Right.
What is your take on the changing landscape of college basketball and where we are now?
Well, I mean, I think, like everybody says, right, it's you have to be a lot on your feet. I mean, it's always changing, and it's changing fast. And so I think for us, it's day in and day out, just looking at just the new changes, but also adjusting. We're really lucky here because we have a great athletic director in Scott Dolson, who is willing and ready to change with everything, right? And I think that's where it starts. You have to have a boss that, one, values especially women's basketball and what we do. Of course, he loves all 24 sports here, but you have to have an AD that values women's basketball and is willing and wanting to change and help our program as much as he can.
How did you approach it this year? Because you look, about a year ago, you didn't have anyone enter the transfer portal. You were one of very few schools that didn't have anyone go in. This year, you're like pretty much everyone else, having some turnover. Yeah. How did that change kind of your mindset heading into this kind of portal era that we're in now?
Well, it's disappointing. You never want kids. I'm all about wanting to retain our roster. And as you said, T, I mean, the year before that, we were able to do that with everybody and keep our entire squad. So it was a drastic change for us. We lost a lot of our kids to the portal. And so here we go trying to revamp. And we've brought so many new players in. And, as I guess disappointing as it was early on, it's kind of in a strange way. You have new faces, you have new people in your program. It has rejuvenized me in a strange kind of way also, because I love to teach. I love the practice components of what I get to do every day. And, I feel like, over half of our team is new. So some of those old hats have heard Coach Moren speak over and over again, right, about, this, that, defensively, offensively. And so it's kind of rejuvenated me with some of these new faces that it's like they're learning for the first time. And that's kind of been cool for me.
All right, give me a little breakdown.
Okay.
All right, for somebody that, again, doesn't know a lot of these players right now, give me a little scouting report on what to expect from some of maybe your top key contributors.
Sure. Well, I think one of the things we tried to do, and we always have tried to do with our recruiting is be very intentional. And what I mean by that is put together personnel, a team that makes sense in terms of how we want to play. And then, after we lost to South Carolina, I made it, in the press clear that I wanted to get bigger and I wanted to get more athletic. Yep. And so we tried to go out and we tried to find those athletic kids, and we brought in pieces, that were at some institutions, whether it was the ACC, even in the big, right, that are coming in and are going to help us with that. And so, I think it's too early to tell. We certainly have Shea Chesky, who's going to be returning for her final year. Lene Beaumont has been a kid that's been waiting on the sidelines. She was out a year ago.
And she's been good, I hear, in the offseason.
She's been really good, yeah. And she's just... she's a gem rat.
Really?
So, that's been exciting for us. But I do think we have some interesting pieces with, like I said, more athleticism. I think Z is going to be special, inside in that 5 spot. She's going to have a great opportunity in front of her to sort of be the anchor down there on the low block for us. But, I do think, again, we're counting on new kids, but kids that I think are very talented, skilled, can play the way we want to play, both offensively and defensively.
You mentioned Z. I think my dad's favorite player of all time is another post player, Mackenzie Holmes. We got to get
by far.
fan of the new
it's
one.
Not even close.
Sure. What's Z's game like? How would you describe her? I know you were in on her originally back when she was playing high school ball. What do you like so much about her?
Well, first of all, she's a phenomenal athlete, She's a great kid, too. Worker in here every morning with Paul, just working individually on her game. Athletic. I think she has a high IQ. I do think I'll give UCLA some credit. I think under Corey and her staff, already has a good foundation, very good skill set. She just, because of, they're loaded with talent. Betts is, going to play a lot of minutes. Z just didn't get the opportunity to play. But for us, we're counting on her to come in and play immediately. So I think she'll be a fan favorite as well in a different way. She has a great personality, but I do think that our fans will really be entertained by just how athletic she is.
All right, can you do me a favor? Mm-hmm. I want to go men's to go from quarters to halves.
Yeah.
Can you make a case to all those people out there that are fighting this right now, why they should go?
Sure. Well, first of all, the flow of the game, and not only just the quarters, Jeff. I think they need to go to the
advance.
Yes, the advancing the ball at the end too, as well. I think that's probably, to me,
like that?
The bigger. Oh yeah. If there was one rule, and we get asked this in our Big Ten Media Day, right? Is like one rule. It's like the men have to go to that advancing the ball. I think it's so difficult, and I think that's what's made our game so exciting. That we can do that. We have special situations for that. In women's basketball, and we have phenomenal coaching. But on the men's side,
just makes it more exciting.
More exciting and realistic.
Yeah.
That pass that they have to make 94 feet with 1.2 or 3 seconds on the clock.
Hard to do.
It's not often that thing's going to go in, right? So I think advancing the ball, but the quarters, have been great. I think our fans enjoy it, but just the flow of the game, all of it, and so I can't believe. Usually we're the ones behind the women's game, right? So
the men's college is the only one,
and I don't know what the rationale is behind that, but if I can make a push for both of those things being changed, I do think that it has made a world of difference for our game.
Yeah.
So,
I think a lot of people are talking about your transfers coming in, or they're talking about Shea, or they're talking about Lene, but they're not talking a lot about your freshmen, I feel like, from what I'm hearing. And you have 2 top 100 freshmen coming in. I think a lot of Hoosiers know Maya because she's an Indiana native, but I feel like Nevaeh went really under the radar. What has impressed you the most about her since you got her on campus?
She, you know, as much as I say Z may be become a fan favorite, I think Nevaeh will be right there with her. And I'm glad you mentioned her because you're right. Everybody knows about Maya here in the state of Indiana, but Nevaeh, for a freshman, body's ready, very aggressive defensively. I was telling Allie Patberg today, because she works with her every day, it's like sometimes she's almost too aggressive. And it's like you want that versus the other, right? We can always help pull her back a little bit, but her aggression for a freshman is something that I haven't seen in a very long time. But she's college ready. Her body is. The one thing that we'll have to catch up is her consistency from outside the arc. But I do think she's a dynamic kid that she's a two-way player. I mean, but she's also can play multiple positions for us because she's a big guard, but she can play at the point, you can play her off the ball. But then defensively, she's going to be a nightmare. I really do believe that, you know, for some opposing teams.
How crazy could this campus be, Teri? You guys have won. Football is winning now. If Darren gets this thing going in men's basketball, you're talking about having 3 high-level sports that would all be winning.
Soccer in there too.
Yes, and we love aired volleyball as well, and there's plenty of others. But the 3 main revenue sports are potentially all at a spot where they can get going. I mean, you've never had that
Trust
in
me,
Indiana.
I've been waiting. You know, I've been waiting since I've been here. I can't believe I'm going into year 12. You know, with, you know, the 3, like you said, football. And we all know this, you know, football has to do well, right? And nobody
it helps you guys.
Yes, nobody cheers harder for football than we do. But also, I think Darren's going to do a great job just, you know, from the work he's done and the places he's been.
He's a coach like you're a coach. I mean, you guys are similar in a lot of ways, right? You want to coach.
Right.
The other stuff you'll do. Right. But you're not running out there self-promoting. Yeah. That's not who you are. That's not who Darren is, right? You want to coach, and you're kind of old school. Is that fair to say?
That's fair. Yeah, right? That's very fair. Yeah, I mean, this is this is a very, very special place. Yeah. And so, you know, we get all of our sports have done terrific, and we're all super competitive. But, you know, I am looking forward to a year, you know, now or down the road where all 3 of us, men's and women's basketball and football.
It's going to happen. I think it's this year.
And so, you know, it would be pretty cool, right? But there is a lot of buzz, you know, around Bloomington right now with Kurt and what he's been able to do with our football team. Darren being new, just the newness, the freshness of, at one point we were just this was a basketball school. I think it kind of still is, but Kurt has, you know, put his stamp on, that we can also, there's room for football as well.
Well, nothing would make me happier than in her final year to have everybody winning at a high level. Get me here a little bit more this year, too. Yeah. So, listen, we really appreciate you stopping by. Great to see you again. Thanks for giving me a lot of fun times watching you guys, and looking forward to another season of success and doing it the right way.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Teri Moren, Indiana women's college basketball coach, here with my daughter Talia as well. And we'll be back to put a bow on Bloomington. Rob Dosser and I talk a little bit about Indiana and where we're going next on the Field of 68.
As you know by now, we have teamed up with BetMGM again this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we will have special offers for Field of 68 fans, including same-game parlays, best-in-class live betting, and daily odds boost. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app, you sign up using bonus code FIELD, you deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Make this college basketball season 1 for the history books. Make it legendary. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD and get your $1,500 first bet offer today. There is no sport in America that is more difficult to follow than college basketball. It can be overwhelming. That's where the Field of 68 Daily comes into play. The Daily is your go-to source for injury updates, recruiting news, and transfer portal additions that actually matter. For just $50 a year, get access to the same information that your favorite team's coaching staff is subscribed for. Quality content can be hard to find in the college basketball space. The Daily is here to help you with that. Would you be surprised to find out that the Field of 68 is home to more than 35 podcasts? More than 25 team-specific podcasts that are hosted by the people that know what fans want the most. The Goodman and Hummel podcast, the DTF podcast, the A10 Insider podcast, and the Mountain West podcast. But wait, there's even more. The Field of 68 will be launching the ACC Insider podcast this year. Subscribe to this channel and come along for the ride. Do you need your fix of college basketball analysis at the end of every night during the season? If you crave instant reactions and informed breakdowns, make sure you tune into the Field of 68 After Dark every night with access to the biggest stars in the sport and a cast of characters that includes the likes of Tyler Hansborough, Randolph Childress, John Fanta, John Henson, Terrence Oglesby, Jarrell McNeil, and many, many more. The Field of 68 After Dark is where college basketball happens.
Welcome to the Field of 68 college basketball road trip. We're putting a bow on this, Goodman. We were able to hang out and sit in and watch practice today with Coach DeVries, and I was, for one, really impressed with what we talked about with him, how quick and how efficient and how how on time everything was. But to me, if I'm an Indiana fan, I am really, really excited about what the potential of this team can be offensively, right? The last couple years, there's been a lot of big bodies, a lot of people placed in the paint, not as many shooters as you probably would want at a program like Indiana, and shooting is not going to be an issue. Space is not going to be an issue. Pace is not going to be an issue. This is going to be a team that can score 85 or 90 points a game.
Yeah,
this season.
That's the difference. They may not be as talented as some of the last few years. I mean, let's face it, Indiana had talent. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a talent issue for Mike Woodson. It was, to me, a style issue and a getting the guys to play hard and play with pride issue. And I don't think you're going to have a problem with either of those. Like, the biggest question is, right, how do these mid-major guys translate? Right? I mean, Lamar Wilkerson, I think it's going to translate. We know he's got the size and he could shoot the hell out of the basketball. Tucker DeVries has to stay healthy. That's obviously a key. Tayton Conerway, can he be an elite defender and a guy who just runs the team and makes the right decisions? Now, Connor Enright is going to give him some help in a secondary ball handler. They've got some depth too, but I just think this team is going to be fun to watch, because they're going to have some of that pride, that chip on their shoulder like they were talking about.
Well, that's the thing that's really interesting about the roster that was built and this team, because I don't believe there is a top 50 prospect on this roster. I don't think there was a top 50 recruit on this roster. And
I can't imagine.
If you go back and look through past Indiana teams, I don't know when the last time that would have been.
Yeah,
right.
It's been a while.
Probably before Romeo Langford. It would have to be.
Yeah, Archie Miller's early, his first year probably.
So and even then, like Tom Crean's last year, Yogi Ferrell's on the roster. Yeah. You have players like that. So it's.
But it's also a different time. You're going with experience.
But the other part of it is you're not. There's not going to be any entitlement with anybody on this roster. Like the two biggest names that you have are kids that spent 2 and 3 years in the JUCO ranks.
Like getting nothing.
There's
taking long bus trips.
Lamar Wilkerson,
eating McDonald's,
as you talked about, was out of basketball and was working at a factory building lawnmowers.
Right.
There's not the level of entitlement that you see at other programs at other places.
You
that they
saw
have to battle
last
with.
year here. not other places.
I wasn't trying
here.
to throw everybody under the bus,
But
okay?
it's true. But it's true. That was the hardest
diplomatic.
part. You know, I watched this team more than I should, and it's been hard to watch them because, again, you just felt like you never had that pride for Indiana basketball. Some of them did, but a good portion of the players, I felt like, again, weren't completely invested in getting Indiana basketball back or, winning being the most important thing. I feel like watching these guys, like winning is paramount for them.
Yeah, I think a lot of that does matter. What was the biggest surprise that you had in kind of watching this practice and watching these workouts?
I think it was, again, Reed Bailey being because I still think of Reed Bailey as like 6'8.5".
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, man, like he's not going to offer any rim protection. He averaged a block, but it's in the A-10. It's going to be different in the Big Ten. But man, he's grown. He's long. He can run.
He's athletic. He can jump too.
Again, is he going to be? He may not be. Some of these other guys in the Big Ten that protect the rim at the highest level. But I think he'll give you enough, and I think the key is going to be, right, will Lamar Wilkerson guard at a high level? Conerway we know can. We know Enright's going to guard. So I think they're going to have to do it by committee as much as anything else and can they be an above-average defensive team? That's what they're going to have to be. In order to be a team that is a top five or six team in the Big Ten, they're going to have to be a top 50, 75 defensive team.
Well, so here's the comparison that I would make, right? If you look at the school that we're going to tomorrow, Purdue.
Yeah.
You look at what Purdue was last year. They were one of the best offensives in America, right? I think they were 7th on KenPom. And they ended up as a borderline 4 seed. They got a 4 seed. That was something that was a little controversial when they got bumped up to that 4 seed line. And they were a sub top 50 defense because they didn't have rim protection and because they were outside of the top half of offensive rebounding percentage and defensive rebounding percentage. And if Indiana, that's kind of what I think this team might end up being.
I mean,
right?
If they're a 4 or 5 seed, which again,
that might be a little bit high.
Hell of a year,
but to me, if more of what you can expect to see, you're going to see an elite offense.
If I said to you, this Indiana team finishes 7th in the Big Ten and goes to the tournament and wins a tournament game, are you signing up for that immediately?
I think that
even with the money they spent.
The bar to clear this year to me, if you're Darian DeVries, is get into the tournament.
In any way possible.
Get into the tournament.
Get in and don't back in.
That should be the bar to clear.
But don't back in.
That should be the bar to clear.
Get in.
Right? Now,
don't be talking about first 4.
But I think getting into the tournament is the bar to clear in your first year. Now, I think that it's more likely to be somewhere in the neighborhood of Louisville in their first season under Pat Kelsey when they had to rebuild the roster, where there's going to be some highs, there's going to be some lows, you're going to be an 8 seed, and if you're going to win a game, then you're going to run into a juggernaut in the second round. I think that that's probably the most likely option for what you're looking at with this team. But
to me, just be an 8-9, get in, don't sweat it out.
Who's the X factor for this group?
I think it's Conerway. Because he's got to be an elite defender and a guy who kind of pushes it and gets everybody but I think he's got to be a point of attack elite defender. I do. And I think he's got the personality. We've been around him now. Mm-hmm. He's got that dog in him. So I think he's the key. Because you've got enough guys. If Lamar has an off night shooting, you got enough other guys. Reed Bailey, you could say, and I'm thinking maybe Bailey could be an X factor too.
I don't think
but
it's
he's
Bailey.
going to be good. He's like, I know what you're going to get out of Reed Bailey. Conerway, I just haven't seen at this level. It's a jump, and we don't know. Sometimes when you go from Troy to Indiana or any of those low-ish major schools, you cut the numbers in half. If you cut the numbers in half with him, I don't know if this team's going to be good enough to get to the tournament.
I think it's Sam Alexis to me.
Okay.
This is a guy that when he committed to Florida was a transfer that a lot of people were excited about. Yep. He was high up on a lot of those rankings. He was a double-double machine when he was at Chattanooga. Now he's about 6'8", 240. He's not quite the biggest guy that you're going to find in
big
the
for
Big
them.
Ten.
He's big
but
for Indiana.
He's someone that can end possessions by getting defensive rebounds, that can protect the rim, not just by blocking shots, but by being 6'8" and 240 and being in the way. And I think that he provides.
Think if Conerway's an all-leagueish guard, Indiana's a lock tournament team.
Oh, yeah.
A lock tournament team.
Yeah.
If he's not, they're an NIT team. How's that?
I think you're going too far. If Tayton Conerway is not an all Big Ten player, then
honorable mention. He's got to be at least an honorable mention guy, is what I'm saying. If he's like a second team all Big Ten guy, they're a lock tournament team. If he's not even an honorable mention guy, then I think, yes, they're probably looking at NIT. I think he's that important for them. Yes.
Yeah. I agree with his importance. I think they have more talent than that. I think they'll be able to ride.
But how many guys do they have? How many guys do they have? Number one, that'll guard like him. Number two, that can get in the paint and make things happen. How many guys do they have? That's where he's so paramount.
Yeah. Some of them, and to be transparent, some of them we did not see today.
Yeah.
Josiah Miles and Jason Drake were not available because of injuries. We talked to DeVries about that. And Nick Dorn is still coming back. He did not play in the pickup session. He did the 5-on-0 stuff. So it might just be health.
Luckily their top guys are healthy. They're like if there's anything, their top guys, Tucker's
the medical
healthy.
staff earned their salaries this summer with Indiana. We're heading to Purdue tomorrow.
We are. We got 4 places, Indiana, Purdue tomorrow. Then we go to Louisville Monday, Kentucky Tuesday. When I brought this trip up to you, a month or so ago, I don't think you were all in.
I don't want to leave home. I like being at home.
Your wife wanted you to leave home.
When the media days that we have coming up, I was like, wait, so you're adding 2 more trips?
I know, I got you. But this is fun.
But it was worth it, man.
This is great.
It's awesome to come here.
For me to come to Indiana now, and come in this building and come in the offices and with a big smile on my face.
You know what's funny is that Indiana's the old staff probably isn't even the staff that hates you the most these days. So
I don't know who that would be.
I think that there's probably 10% of the campuses you're not allowed on now.
No,
maybe 12.
That's a high number. That's a very high number.
It might be 15 by the end of the season.
I'd say 0.5% of the campuses.
So tomorrow we will be live from Purdue
noonish.
Noon
probably
Eastern time. So we will see you guys there from Mackey Arena. We're going to get on the road here. We are not allowing Jeff to drive because
I'm not driving with you.
Last time that he drove, he got a ticket. We actually have 5 people in 4 cars here, which is probably not the best for the climate crisis that we're dealing with. But hey, it is what it is. We will see you guys tomorrow from West Lafayette, Indiana, and Purdue.